Hey guys, John here from Sonic Drive Studio for the first time face to face. Thanks a lot for tuning into this channel. I thought it would be a cool idea to review all my guitars, and today we're going to start off with this beautiful Ibanez. I've been wanting to get a Japanese 7-string for a while now, and I thought that an Ibanez Prestige would be a great choice. I've owned a couple of Indonesian Ibanez guitars in the past, including the Toshinaba CT-AM10 model. It was a cool guitar, but the quality just wasn't good enough. The build quality was alright, but the wood just sounded a bit dead. I also have an M80M Meshuggah 8-string model back here, which is actually a great guitar, and it's also made in Indonesia. I've read a lot of good and bad things about the premium and other Indonesian Ibanez guitars, but I'm very excited to try one of the upper range premium models one day, because they look very cool. I was in Paris a couple of weeks ago, and there's a street over there called Rue de Douai. It's close to the Moulin Rouge, which you probably have heard of. And it has a bunch of guitar stores all in one street. And I visited a few of them. And one store that was really cool to me was the metal guitar store. Well, I love metal, so that was great. And they had a couple of Ibanez 7-strings on the wall, including this model. Not this exact guitar, but this model. And I played it and I thought it was really cool. So I did go home and I thought about it for a little while, and then I just decided to get this. So I ordered this guitar and I'm very happy with it. Okay, so let's take a look at this guitar. It's the Ibanez Prestige RG752AHM, and this is the antique white blonde finish. It's also available in a Nebula Greenburst. This is the 7-string model, but Ibanez also sells a 6-string model. This guitar has a 3-piece swamp ash body. I really like that wood choice. Ibanez is known for using basswood quite often in their RG models, so I'm quite happy to see that they're using different wood types for different models now. The body is very resonant. It has a very full sound with a lot of attack and a lot of mid frequencies. It has a great loud and resonant sound even when it's unplugged. And I tend to like that in guitars. As you can see, the wood figuring in the back here is very beautiful. Nice grain going on there. Now let's take a look at the neck. It's a 5-piece Wizard 7 neck with maple and wenge stripes. And on the back of the headstock here we have Goto tuners. We have a matching headstock with the Prestige Ibanez logo, and the finish on the top of the body here is very nice. You can really see the wood grain through the paint here. Check it out. It's a very cool finish. Another cool thing about this guitar is the bird's eye maple fretboard over here. It's got some beautiful figuring going on. The neck profile is quite comfortable, as you can expect from Ibanez Prestige models, although it's not as thin as I expected it to be. So if you want a really skinny neck, try this one first to see if it feels good for you. I personally love it. I do think that the amount of wood in the neck does contribute to the tone. So I'm all for it, actually. The playability of this instrument is amazing. The fret ends feel really smooth, and I got the action quite low, so it's great for leads but also great for chunky rhythms. A couple of weeks ago I tried a 1990 Green Dot Universe, and that neck was way skinnier. So this is a bit chunkier, but it definitely still feels fast and smooth. This guitar features 2 DiMarzio PAF7 pickups. I love the pickups. They have a very all-around sound. The pickups work well for heavy styles, but they also work well for clean stuff, for bluesy, funky and jazzy stuff. Another cool thing about these pickups is that they are very dynamic, so they respond very well to your playing. Another very cool thing that I was excited about when buying this guitar is the 5-way selector switch. The first position is the neck humbucker alone. The second position features these 2 inner coils together, so single coil. This gives it a very twangy and Strat or Telecaster type sound, very cool. Then the middle position features these 2 humbuckers combined. The fourth position is the neck pickup in parallel, so this also has a very single coily, twangy type sound. It reminds me a little bit of the fourth position on a Stratocaster, but it's not exactly the same, but it sounds very cool, especially for a 2 humbucker guitar. And of course the fifth position is the neck humbucker alone. This pickup is great for clean stuff or very warm, smooth and round lead sounds. And the bridge humbucker works well for rhythm, of course. Over here we have 1 volume control and 1 tone control. And the bridge on this guitar is very cool. It's the Low Pro Edge 7. I do have a couple of guitars here with Floyd Rose bridges, and I really like those. They stay in tune very well. So I was excited to try this Ibanez bridge, as I'd never had a guitar with a Low Pro 7 Edge bridge, and it works perfectly. It works just as well as my Floyd Roses. It stays in tune well, it feels very smooth. It's a lot of fun to play around with this tremolo, but of course, like any other floating bridge, it's a bit harder to set up than your standard hardtail bridge. I always use elixir strings on all my guitars, and I have a set of 9s from 9 to 42 here with the low 56 for the low B. And I like the sound of those strings, and they last very long. This guitar has a very articulate, defined, MIDI and warm sound overall. The notes can cut through the mix perfectly. It's a very versatile guitar, but I think it works extremely well for heavy genres like metal, progressive metal, and even djent. This guitar came in a very sturdy case, and it also came with this very handy Ibanez tool. I can take this with me anywhere and set up my guitar anywhere and any way I like. So that's a great touch. If you want to see and hear this guitar in action, I've put a link in the description below for you to check out. It's a full song featuring this guitar into Helix Native from line 6. I think this guitar sounds amazing in that song. Like I said earlier, it sounds very articulate and you can really hear every note, but at the same time it sounds very heavy, and for the clean parts it sounds pretty warm. For the heavy distorted rhythm parts I use the bridge humbucker. For the clean parts on the left I use the neck humbucker. For the clean parts on the right I use the 4th position, which sounds very cool. So definitely check that out if you're interested. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any ideas or suggestions for future face-to-face videos, please let me know in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now, and you can also follow us on facebook.com/sonicdrivestudio. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!